Step by step on business. That's on my mama, watch me spin on me and split, now I can't feel it. We in the trap, we sold the city on my biddy. Take these diamonds off and show you how we lit it.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to episode 50 of Before the Horn podcast. I'm your host today, Day. I'm missing Dino and Khalil, but I do got a special guest on with me. I'm gonna let you introduce yourself to the fans, bro. What's up? Talk to him.
What's up? What's up? I'm Josh. I just really know Day. Yeah, kind of go back. So I'm here doing a show with him today. Try to bring some energy, good talks, and we'll see what's up.
Hey, like he said, we're gonna bring mad energy into this episode because we got a pretty nice episode for y'all today. Whoever's watching or listening. First of all, UFC 299 is going down in Miami this Saturday. It's gonna be a huge card. We're gonna give our predictions on that. Then the announcement of Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul going down in Dallas, Texas in the summertime. We'll give our thoughts and opinions about the bookings of that fight. Let's move on to the NFL with free agency. We saw a lot of cuts in the NFL this whole week so far. A lot of surprising ones. We're going to give our thoughts and opinions about that. And then last but not least, the franchise tag has been utilized heavy by a lot of teams in free agency to kick it all off. So we're going to start off with our first topic, UFC 299. Let's get it. Like I said, this Saturday going down in Miami, we got a stacked card headline. The rematch for the Bantamweight Championship with Chito Vera and Sean O'Malley for the Bantamweight title. But let's kick it off with the first match, the main card. In the Bantamweight division as well, we got former champion Petr Yan going off against Song Yadong. Who you got for this one, bro?
Oh, this is a tough one. I'm not going to lie. Petr Yan lately, man. Petr Yan, he was a special fighter. His striking was like next level. Honestly, at the level of like Adesanya. I think Adesanya has the best striking I've seen by far in the UFC. And Petr Yan was at that level. But I think after that horrible decision by his coaching staff and, to knee Aljamain Sterling, he just lost a lot of confidence. And lately he's been looking like a journeyman, right? He lost the fight to Aljamain Sterling. I think he lost the second one. He did lose that second one. He lost that fight to Aljamain Sterling, and then he went and fought Corey Sandhagen for that interim belt. And then he lost again to Aljo. And then after that, he went and lost to O'Malley. We'll say he lost to O'Malley, right?
I'm not gonna lie. I thought he beat O'Malley, but
we'll say he lost to O'Malley, right? But whatever, O'Malley got the belt right now. We'll say he lost to O'Malley, right? So just those continuous losses just kept adding up, and like he lost a lot of confidence. And after he just got dog ragged by Merab. Merab is that guy, but he got dog ragged by Merab. So it's just
that was literally 1 year ago too, where he got dog ragged by Merab.
Absolutely dog ragged. But I don't know, Song Yadong, he's been on a streak. He has been on a streak. His last loss was that doctor stoppage against Sandhagen. Freaking, he was losing that fight though, don't get me wrong, but
he was
like before that, he was on an absolute streak. He's a scrappy fighter, good hands. He could work on his takedown defense, but he's got a lot to him. He's got a lot to his game. I would say, honestly, Petr Yan is a good challenge to see if this dude is ready to step up in the next level of bantamweights, which I kind of think he is, but I don't know yet. I got to see against Petr Yan. So I don't know. This is a tough one. I think I'm going to go with Petr Yan, though. I think I'm going to go with Petr Yan. I think I'm going to take Yan on this, though.
Facts. Now, you mentioned Petr Yan. Like, he had the whole bantamweight division on fire.
Yeah.
Got the belt, fought Aljo Sterling literally exactly 3 years ago today.
Yeah.
And his coaches, he was dominating Sterling in that fight. He was dominating the hell out of Aljo Sterling, in my opinion, in that fight. He bring up that the coaches told him to kick him in the head where he was down. He got disqualified, lost his belt. Then he go fight Sandhagen, like you said, gets an interim belt. And then he goes on 3-fight lose streak, losing to Sterling, O'Malley, who's the current champion. He got ragdolled by Merab a year ago. So I think it's really good for Petr Yan to get his feet back wet because he has fought in over a year. Yeah, now, he is fighting Song Yadong, but Song Yadong is a good striker. Like you said, he was on a darn near 5-fight win streak, and then he got that doctor stoppage against Corey Sandhagen. Sandman's nice, but this is gonna be a really good fight for both of these guys. But Petr Yan is a slight favorite. I'm gonna go with that. Like, that's how close it is. The odds are Petr Yan is minus 125. That's how close this fight is. But yeah, I got Petr Yan getting a win.
And then Song too, that dude has power. He has power for a
Now he
bantamweight.
does.
So Jan has power too, but I think freaking Song has more power. So I think if anything, that would be like his his opportunity to get the win, his power. But we'll see.
Most
I still
definitely.
got Jan though.
Most def. All right, let's move on to the next fight in the main card. In the welterweight division, we got Gilbert Burns, the scrappy man from Brazil, facing off against Jack Della Maddalena.
I like this fight. I
I
do
do
like
too.
this fight.
This card is stacked, I'm telling you.
Yeah, this card. I ain't gonna lie, this card is pretty good. I give it to Boss Man Dana. I like this fight mostly because I'm a huge Burns fan. Bro, Gilbert Burns is a dog, man. That fight with Shamaya, freaking even his last fight with
Yeah.
freaking Muhammad, man. Like you could tell, bro was injured the first round and he still didn't get
Still kept going.
finished. Bro, he's a dog. So, I don't even know how to pronounce this dude's last name, but Jack, I know. Jack, I'm gonna say Jack. His long ass last name, Jack, though, right? Last couple of fights, he's been killing it, right? I forgot who's his last fight. What was his last fight?
He beat Kevin Holland.
Yes. Oh yeah,
Beat
he
Kevin
did
Holland.
beat Kevin
Split
Holland.
decision. Split
He
decision.
did beat Kevin Holland. Split decision, though. I remember that fight. He did beat Kevin Holland. Split decision. I was disappointed in Holland for that one, though. But he's on a run. He's been on some type of a bit of a run, and he's a good fighter. But I think with the experience and just this dude is like he's tough to finish, right? Freaking only dudes like Usman finish him, right? And Usman's a beast, right?
The beast.
So he's with how freaking scrappy. He's good all around. His jujitsu is ridiculous, and his cardio is good. I think I'm gonna go with Burns on this one.
Oof. I don't know, man. Gilbert Burns,
Really?
again, we haven't seen him fight in a while because again, he had an injured shoulder for almost a year ago
Yeah.
against Muhammad. But he in the fight before Muhammad, in the previous fight, he went all out and he got that win. Gilbert Burns, 37 years old, experienced fighter, but he just can't. He's one of those fighters that just can't get over that hump in this division. He's fought for the belt before. He got dog
Yeah.
walked by Kamaru Usman. Now you got Jack Della Maddalena coming in off of a win in September against Kevin Holland, one of the most prolific, in my opinion, the most hilarious fighters to watch in this sport in that division. He beat
True.
Kevin Holland in September. So now you got him versus Gilbert Burns. This is going to be a great fight, but I'm not going to lie. I think Gilbert Burns is kind of almost done. I don't want to say done in a bad way, but I don't see him winning this fight. I got Jack in this one. I mean, this fight is also another close one. That's how great this card is.
We'll see. I might have to put my
We're gonna
money down
see.
on that one.
Hey, we'll see. All right, let's get on to the third fight of the main card. Again, in the welterweight division, we got Michael Venom Page making his UFC debut. He's gonna be fighting Kevin Holland. What you got for this one?
You see, honestly, this might be the fight that I'm most excited about.
Facts.
This fight here, it was like you was just saying about Kevin Holland, the trailblazer. He's honestly one of the most prolific and then hilarious fighters in the UFC. But the craziest part about it too is that he's actually super good all around. This
He
dude
is.
is a dog. He's a great striker. He has good ground game. Honestly, like he just knows what he's doing in the cage. Like he was meant to be there. And then freaking he was good at middleweight, but his move down to welterweight, like it just took him to another level. Obviously, like the weight cut kind of was like um a big factor, and people were saying, oh, like he might not do good and stuff like that. He might be cutting too weight, prone to getting knocked out because of it. But ever since he's joined the welterweight division, it really hasn't been an issue for him. So we know how good he is. So this is a tough one, especially him going against MVP, right? Freaking that boy MVP is something else, right?
Page is different.
He is something
You
else.
watch his highlights, he's just different, man.
Yeah, man. Freaking back in his days with freaking Bellator, he was going crazy. That boy, great striking. He honestly, these two fighters, in a way, I feel like they're kind of
They're kind of
similar.
similar. They are.
Like they really are kind of similar, right? Like the
Very.
way they strike, um, their striking is extremely similar. Freaking, they strike at a high pace. these dudes don't stop. So I think Holland does have better ground game though, but still, this is a tough one. I'm gonna go Kevin Holland though. I'm going to
Okay.
go Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland is the younger fighter. He's coming off a loss, so I know he's gonna want to prove something. I'm gonna go Kevin Holland. This is a tough one. You think
Now we
someone's
see
gonna
Mike.
get knocked out this fight?
I don't know. I feel like every fight on this card can go to decision, but we gonna give our predictions about that. But Michael Page, talk about him in Bellator. He was a freaking different breed, and I love how you bring up that they're very similar fighters, which they really, really are. Look
Yeah,
at Kevin Holland's fighting style and look at Page's fighting style. They're kind of the same, but like you said, Kevin Holland just has a better ground game. He's a more well-rounded fighter, but Page got that power in his fist to
he
knock you down,
does.
to knock you out, like put your lights out, like you looking up at the sky, like going crazy. Pause.
That is
But
true.
Kevin Holland, like you said, he's coming off of a loss. He's one of the most entertaining fighters I've ever seen in the sport. He's just so energetic and exciting. He jokes around a lot, sometimes too much, but it's just part of his character, it's part of his game. But I do have him spoiling Venom Page's UFC debut. Do I think it's gonna be a knockout? Potentially, it can be. But I see this going down to decision. I think it's gonna be a unanimous decision by Kevin Holland. He's gonna spoil Page's UFC debut. But this is definitely a fight to get Page's feet wet to see what he's gonna be expecting in this division, let alone in this sport if he moves up.
Yeah, I think so too. And you just know this is gonna be a good fight. That no matter who loses, like you're like, man, if we gotta book another
You
fight.
have to,
Not them fighting again, but we gotta book these guys another fight as soon as possible, man. These are the
for
type of
sure.
entertainers we're dealing with there.
Most def. All right, let's move on to the fourth fight of the main card. In lightweight division, we got Dustin Diamond Poirier coming back. He's gonna fight Benoit Saint Denis. Who you got in this one, dog?
I won't say I'm not excited about this fight because, just obviously it's freaking the diamond himself. And then Saint Denis, right? It's I honestly just found this fight a bit weird, right? Especially if you like talking about like rankings and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like Dustin is obviously one of the higher lightweights compared to Saint Denis, but compared to like all the other lightweights, Dustin's basically kind of like already fought them, or these dudes. Obviously you take in people's last fights, or some of these dudes just aren't ready. But I
Yeah,
guess this is a good fight. I'm not gonna lie. This is a pretty good fight in terms of volume, right? Um, Saint Denis, he's pretty good ground game, right? So like he could give him an issue there. I do like the thing about Saint Denis's background though. What is he like? Ex-military, special forces, something of the
mm-hmm.
sorts, right?
Yeah,
So, he's a warrior, right? And we already know Poirier's a warrior. So it's like, getting to see two warriors in there, right? No matter the rankings, that's something exciting. I will say this about that because like I like to
facts.
see when a high ranking freaking dude in whatever weight class goes up against a lower ranking dude because I want to see what a warrior the low ranking dude is. And
That's
I feel like
facts.
this is one of those cases. I do think it would reflect badly on Poirier if he does lose, but um we'll see though. I'm not gonna lie. If Poirier does lose, I want his ass to leave the lightweight division, man. It's about time, bro. Like
You think so? You
he's
think he gonna move up if you lose?
I think he should, man. I think obviously he's
Okay.
definitely big enough. Like his walking around weight is like in the 190s. But it's
Yeah, most
just like,
definitely.
yeah, it's just like he's fought for the belt multiple times. He's fought a lot of these dudes multiple times. And I just think it's time for him to move up, honestly.
Okay.
If he were to lose this fight. If he doesn't, whatever, maybe he has another chance to make a run at the title. But if I'm gonna be honest, I am gonna take Poirier in this, man.
Okay.
We know his
All right.
striking, his freaking power, his durability. The man's durable as hell, man. It's tough to knock him out, right? We've recently, and we'll talk about recently too, because obviously Poirier back in the day he was knocked out a couple times, but recently,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Oh yeah, obviously, and then freaking Gagey knocked him out too. I will say
Yeah,
though about that
exactly.
Gagey knockout, he
That was
knocked
that
him out,
was
but that
that was
was
epic.
nasty. He knocked
That was
him out,
epic. That was a
but
head kick.
he low key got back up right then and there. So, but I will say before that though, all of Gagey losses have been against dudes that have crazy submission game, and it
That's
was only
crazy.
like two.
That's a
So
fact.
right? I think if Saint Bernice, takes that route, tries to make that his advantage in this fight, he has a chance. But I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to boxing and when it comes to striking, we know Poirier is with the best of them. So I'm gonna go Poirier.
Well, I mean, last time we seen Dustin Poirier fight, he got head kicked by Justin Gaethje, like you said. But prior to
Nasty.
that, he was doing pretty good. I mean, he had the lightweight championship before, but then Habib tapped him out and took it. Oliveira tapped him out as well a couple years
Both
ago.
cooked him.
It cooked him. But Dustin Poirier is already contemplating retirement prior to this fight.
Yeah.
You can tell it's definitely been on his mind. He's worried about his family, his wife, his kids, which actually should. Because every time you go to UFC, this is a brutal, unforgiving sport. And he's had his fair share of getting knocked out, getting put down, get taken out of the game mentally and everything. It takes a toll on you.
Yeah.
Poirier is a different breed. After a loss, Dustin Poirier is 6-0 after losing. But Benoit Saint Denis is a different breed. I'm sorry, bro. He 13-1 for a reason. Yes, he fought a bunch of, like, I don't want to say no names, but he has fought anyone as good, in my opinion, as Dustin Poirier. But I think a win by Benoit Saint Denis would definitely move him up in the rankings. So I got him beating Dustin Poirier, second round TKO.
You think so? Really?
I think
Okay.
so. I think he's gonna put Poirier either into retirement or he's gonna make Poirier move up and wait. I'm being
Even
for real.
after what you said, even after my man Poirier being 6-0, freaking after a loss, boy gets hungry
Yeah,
after that loss, man.
you're not wrong. He does, but I
I feel you
I,
though. I feel you though,
I gotta go
because
with Benoit on this.
I feel you after brutal knockouts and then time off and stuff like that. It can,
I'm telling you,
have more of a strain on you than you think. But
that's
we'll
a
see,
fact.
man. Honestly, even if he wins, I want to see him move up, man. I
Yeah,
want to
most
see him
definitely.
fight welterweights, man. That'd be good shit right there.
All right, let's move on to the main event. A rematch from 4 years ago. Cheeto Vera is challenging Sean O'Malley for the Bantamweight Championship. This is their second fight. Who do you think comes out on top?
Man, this honestly, this is aside from the freaking Holland and MVP fight, this might be like the toughest one to decide. Because if you watch that first fight, it was a close fight. It
Until
was indeed a
O'Malley got
close
injured.
fight until O'Malley got injured. And that boy says he's 17-0. He's funny, but
He can't take that L.
yeah, he
He can't
can't
take
take the L.
he can't take that
Honestly
L.
though, like I won't say I'm the biggest O'Malley fan, right? But even I, even I think it's hard for me to like just decisively give him that L. Like you could see, like certainly in the fight where he broke his ankle, and as soon as he broke his ankle, he was practically out of commission.
He
It's like when
was
freaking Connor broke his damn freaking
his leg.
ankle
I
or
mean his
whatever,
foot, ankle,
foot.
yeah.
And freaking as soon as he did that, like the fight was practically over.
Yeah.
Dustin
He
Poirier
couldn't do
rushed him.
nothing.
Exactly. So, but this new one, this is gonna be a tough one because both of them have developed so much, right?
Since that fight.
And they've developed so much, right? Like freaking O'Malley, he's always been a great striker, but his striking is on another level now. He's much sharper. He makes better decisions. He plays less with his food, if that makes sense. Like, back in the day, I wouldn't say he was like childish, but like,
He was he was
he
childish. He
he
used to
was
play around.
childish. Like
He was
he
play around.
he didn't know, like, when I wouldn't say enough is enough, but like, you know, freaking, how when they say in boxing, right? Like you give them a 1-2, 1-2, now get out of there, right? You're not gonna continue. Back in the day, he didn't care. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He just kept going. But he's not like that anymore. He's matured. He's acting like a champion. He fights like a champion. So, but then Cheeto Vera, I think Cheeto Vera, his game has improved the most. He is a dog. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't think I think when you talk about every level of a fighter's game, I don't really see a weakness with it, Cheeto Vera. Like maybe we could go into his ground game, but like or his takedown, maybe, but his submission game is crazy. He has great submission game though, right? So like what's the like he has great ground game. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with Cheeto. I'm not gonna lie. I got Cheeto on this.
Cheeto for the win.
Yeah, and
That's
I
a
think
bold pick.
you think so? I
That's
think
just not
I'm gonna
really too
go.
bold. Now I think about it, it's not really too much of a bold pick.
I think I'm gonna go Cheeto by. I'm gonna go Cheeto by knockout.
Ooh,
Because
that's a bold
they're
pick.
tied in knockouts too.
Whew.
So this
All
is
right.
this is the fight to shit talk.
Yeah.
They're tied in knockouts. If one of them knocks each other out, they move ahead of them. Man, this is honestly, this is okay. This is a good one.
All
I'm not gonna
right.
lie.
So I'm not gonna lie. That first fight we seen O'Malley and Cheeto Vera was in 2020. Except O'Malley injured his ankle. He couldn't really fight anymore after that.
Yeah.
He's 17-1. It's okay, Sugar Sean. You're the champion now. Just take that one loss and just move
Take
on
that
it.
out, bro.
That's what the great ones do.
Yeah.
I do agree with you. Sean O'Malley's striking ever since 4 years ago has gotten better. He's more of an efficient striker. He's more poised. He's relaxed. He's not frankly rushing. His ground game still struggles. He still struggles against takedowns. He's really just a really one-dimensional fighter, in my opinion. But he's a good boxer. He's skinny. He's slim as hell, but that man got some hands. I can't lie. And
Bro
he's taller than
does.
Cheeto Vera by 3 inches. But Cheeto Vera, you can't sleep on him at all. He's like a mini pit bull from Ecuador. He gonna get after you too. But I'm really kind of undecided with this fight because I low-key want to
Really?
think Sean O'Malley's gonna win, but I could see Cheeto Vera knocking him off again. I really could see it. With that being said, I'm gonna go with Sugar Sean retaining his belt. I think it's gonna come down to decision. I don't think neither one of these guys gonna get knocked out. Can they get knocked out?
Really?
Of course they can. Yeah, I'm going with that. Sugar Sean via split decision, and it's gonna come down to the end where I hope the judges don't ruin it, but I feel like it's gonna work in Sean's favor. But Sean has to be on defense. He has to defend those takedowns. Because again, Cheeto Vera is 3 inches shorter than him. So Cheeto's going to be definitely trying to shoot some takedowns because Sean is lanky. But Sean got to learn how to defend those takedowns and just he did good against Aljo Sterling last time we saw him. He did good against
Yeah, he
takedowns
did.
against Aljo. But all I'm gonna say is whoever win this fight, they got to see Mayrob next. They got to see Mayrob next.
Oh my goodness, bro.
Mayrob, I'm not gonna lie, whoever win this fight, they in for it. I think Mayrob is the next bantamweight champion.
Bro.
By the end of this year,
He-
by the end of this year at least, I think Mayrob will be the next champion.
Indeed, man. I'm honestly like, I get this is a big fight, in Miami, my city, the 305, right? Freaking, it's a big fight, but I honestly thought Rob was the one that was supposed to be
Supposed to fight. And
fight, right?
I was
But
I was gonna bring that up too. I was confused with why Sean O'Malley called out Cheeto Vera after he beat Aljo Sterling last year in August. I'm like, why you call
yeah,
out the number 6 ranked bantamweight?
yeah.
What did
And
he
then
deserve
at
a
the
title
same
shot
time,
for?
too, he just came off of a loss, too. Cheeto just came
Exactly.
off a loss when he
He
called him
lost.
out, too.
He lost to Corey Sandhagen.
Yeah, but I get it though. I get it
He wants to
though,
avenge
right?
that loss. He wants to avenge that loss.
All these dudes is scared of the machine, right? So before he gets his ass mollywopped by the machine, he wants to try to prove himself against freaking Cheeto. Man, the way Marab fight, I'd be scared of the machine too, man. That dude is honestly like we all know he held back because he didn't want to fight his freaking teammate, freaking Funkmaster, and he's a good dude for that. But now Aljamain
Hey,
Sterling's moved
he
up,
moved
he's
up.
gone.
Mayrob, it's your turn.
I think it's his time, man. That dude is just cooking and ramming through everybody. Pause. That dude's going crazy, man.
He
What he
is.
did to Cejudo?
That was
So
nuts.
Olympic wrestler.
I don't even want to revisit that. I don't even want to revisit that
Goodness
because
gracious.
that was crazy.
That was ridiculous,
That was
man.
ridiculous.
Yeah, he's going to be a problem. I think he's going to be a problem.
For sure.
Jeez.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for that topics. Give us y'all predictions and picks for UFC 299. Like I said, it's going down in Miami this Saturday. Make sure you got tune in on ESPN Plus or however way you want to watch it. I'm not promoting any illegal ways of watching it. I'm just saying, make sure y'all tap in or tune in. It's gonna be a stacked card. Give your thoughts about matches 1 through 5. And who y'all think is gonna win the main event? It's gonna be Sean O'Malley or Marlon Cheeto Vera. I want to hear in the comment section below.
And tell us who you think the knockouts are going to be. We don't want to see that.
I want to hear that. I want to hear knockouts and fight of night predictions.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next topic. Announced on Thursday, March 7th,
Jeez, man.
Jake Paul and Mike Tyson have announced their fight. They will be fighting on July 20th at Jerry's World at AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas. Bro, what's your thoughts on this fight even being set up at this point? Like, it's definitely got to be a money grab. It's definitely got to be for clicks and views. I want to hear it. I just want to hear it, bro.
Did you say at Jerry's World?
Jerry's World, AT&T Stadium in Dallas.
First off, he need to give that up, man. I'm tired of Jerry. Like, he gotta go, man. But man, first off, I think Jake is tripping. Have we seen them Mike Tyson training videos? Like,
Bro, that
bro
man is
ain't
a different breed. He, bro, he gonna be 58. He gonna be 58 by the time this fight happen, and
bro
he's
ain't
still hitting hard.
bro ain't miss a beat. God damn, he's still a monster. It's ridiculous. He's he's my dad's age, and he's an absolute monster. This guy is something else. I don't know, man. Cool on Jake, dares to be great, but I'll say this. If I'm gonna be honest, I didn't watch Jake Paul's last fight, right? And he fought a former professional. Man, if you go watch that fight, it didn't seem like the other dude threw a single punch. Like, I don't know who Jake has come into these rings or anything like that, but I don't think Mike Tyson's gonna just sell a fight. If I'm being honest, we know that Mike Tyson has done some acting in movies, but I don't see Mike Tyson, something that this dude has loved doing for years, has done professionally, and it's practically all he knows. Right? Is gonna just come in there and sell a fight. And I also think Jake doesn't have Mike Tyson power. So we gonna see. I don't know. But and last thing I will say about this too, Jake, like, bro knows how to make money. He knows how to sell
He
crowds. He
do.
knows what
He
he's
do.
doing. Like, can't hate on
I
him
agree.
for that. Like, bro is that dude when it comes to that. But bro, he's still fighting a dude that's gonna be 58, man. Like, right? If he wants people to take him seriously, like, he needs to like he needs to start fighting younger dudes, right? Because we'll talk about like, oh, like he's not at the level to fight the big pros yet. That's cool, right? Like he's just getting into boxing, right? Like if he started with the amateur route and then went pro, that would have been fine, right? Because he would have probably been fighting dudes more his age, more as conditioned as him, dudes that are putting like work like him, right? But he's not. So it's hard to tell if this guy's ever really gonna be legit. Like, it's like Canelo said,
Because he
right?
hasn't fought a real boxer, and
Exactly.
he about to fight a retired boxer. Like, come
A
on, really,
retired boxer.
really, bro.
And it's like Canelo said, man, like maybe I'll fight him when I'm retired, right? Like maybe we could do an expedition when I retire. That's clearly obviously for money, right? But he's calling out Canelo now, calling out these big names, right? Like you want to fight these big names now, right? Start fighting actual dudes that people look at and be like, oh yeah, that was a good fight, man. Come on, man. You saw Ben Askren in shape when he went to fight. Like, come on, man.
He was so out of shape. He was so fat.
Yeah,
But about this fight, why is this happening?
I don't know, man.
One, they're not in the same weight class. Is Jake Paul
Nope.
gonna bulk up? Mike Tyson's still at least 250 or more, in my opinion. He looks
Exactly.
huge. He looks huge. He's still doing what he gotta do. Y'all are tripping if you think this is a fair matchup. Why? This shouldn't be happening. Last time we
No.
seen Jake Paul in the ring, it was in the summertime. He fought Nate Diaz. He beat Nate Diaz in the boxing fight. Whatever. Prior to that, he lost to Tommy Fury in February. That was his only loss right now. Bro, fight a real boxer. You want to be a champion? You want to be world champion of the world one day? You need to start by fighting real boxers, not these freaking retired boxers or MMA fighters turned boxers or these YouTubers. Fight real boxers, Jake Paul. This is definitely a money grab. I mean, I don't care. Get your coins. Hey, you richer than me. You could buy the whole company I work for, probably. That's how much money
Yeah.
you got, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not hating. I'm still gonna watch the fight, sadly. But at the same time, though, it's like, why? Why is this happening? But hey,
Don't even
get your
know.
coins. Like I said, Mike Tyson's almost 60 years old. Jake Paul's close to 30, but he's not 30 yet.
Yeah.
This just don't even make no sense. But hey, Dallas, y'all better be ready on July 20th. They coming out there for y'all.
That's crazy. Even the YouTube fights are more entertaining, man, because
Yeah, no, that's a fact.
but whatever, man.
But ladies and gentlemen, that is it for that topic. Give us your thoughts and opinions about Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. Do y'all think this makes any sense whatsoever? If y'all do think it makes sense, give us your reason why. If it doesn't make sense, tell me how you feel in the comment section about this fight. Does Jake Paul have a chance of beating Mike Tyson? What happens if Mike Tyson loses this fight? I want to know all that in the comment section below because this is very intriguing to see.
If Mike Tyson knocks him out, is Logan gonna come and save him? Like,
Hey, the world may never know. We have to
yeah,
see after
man.
July 20th.
Hey, them boys know
Oh,
how to get money though.
facts. All right, sticking with boxing though, which I did not bring up in the introduction. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, but we're going to talk about Francis Ngannou versus Anthony Joshua. It's going down this Saturday. Last time we seen Francis Ngannou, he fought Tyson Fury. He pushed him to the limits, but the judges gave Fury that win. Hey, Josh, I want to know what's your thoughts and predictions for this fight happening this Saturday.
This is a toughie. I ain't gonna lie, this is a toughie, but I'm excited about this fight. I'd watch this fight over the Jake Paul and freaking Tyson fight any day. Um, I'm gonna watch this fight 100% for sure. I'm definitely gonna
Oh,
watch
definitely.
this fight because I think this is a good fight. You know, just obviously like Francis Ngannou and his story. It's just one a super motivating one. And it's just like cool to see someone like him bet on himself, which he 100% did all his life. So and he's doing it now. He did it when he went and fought Fury, right? Which he probably even won that fight. But obviously, you know, it's like we can't stain the freaking heavyweight champ's legacy by freaking giving him a loss against an MMA guy. But he took a chance and it paid off big. And now he's in a position to fight a huge boxing star in Anthony Joshua.
The
And
number 3 ranked heavyweight,
exactly.
a
And you know,
former
this is a former
champion.
champion, right? Like, so it's just like, and he not just a former champion that was dominant for years, just cooking dudes, knocking out dudes left and right. And you know, it sucks to say this too, because bro got Joshua in his name, right? But I think uh, he's obviously the favorite, right? I think Joshua's gonna win, right?
Okay.
I know you think I know you was looking at me crazy because you thought I was
I
gonna
was
say
like,
Ngannou's gonna win. But I'm gonna give Ngannou that little chance
yeah,
that
of
I gave
course.
him when he fought Fury. That
Exactly.
knock that
He proved
knockout.
the whole world. Fury was a huge favorite in that fight. He was minus 1400. And
Mm-hmm.
Ngannou goes out there, knocks him down 3 times, and pushed him all the way to the max. And
Exactly.
again, the judges should have they gave that fight to Tyson Fury wrongfully. And Ngannou won that fight. He got robbed.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now he gets to prove himself again against another champion slash former champion.
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua, number 3 ranked heavyweight right now, former unified champion. This is a dangerous man.
I think so
Deontay,
too.
yeah, Deontay Wilder was supposed to fight Anthony Joshua, but who knows what happened with that fight? Whatever. But if
Deontay
Francis
Wilder.
Ngannou happens to pull off this upset win, that's gonna be nuts, bro. You can't lie. That's gonna be nuts.
That's gonna be
That's gonna be
ridiculous.
crazy. But I don't see it happening. I'm sorry, Francis. You done great the first fight, but I'm not gonna say it was a fluke, but you definitely got your work cut out for you this time. I'm going Anthony Johnson. I'm gonna say it's not gonna need no TKOs or nothing. I don't think. I think it's going on to the
Mhm.
wire. I think it's gonna be unanimous decision this time. I'm gonna say Anthony Joshua. But hey, props to Ngannou for even like strapping up and putting the gloves on and even getting in the ring with this guy. And that shows that he
Exactly.
wants it. He's 38. He's about to be 38 years old soon. I mean, he's coming off of fighting the UFC, being a former heavyweight champion. He relinquished his belt to go chase more money in boxing and in other sports. And now he's going out and getting it. He's fighting these huge contenders and stars in his sport, and he's excelling. Let's see if he can do it again this Saturday.
I say this though, man. You know I fuck with my boy John Jones, John Bones Jones. But
Hey,
man, with the way just Ngannou, he's so like this dude just doesn't go down. This dude is just he doesn't go down. He's a freak of nature, man. Like
mm-hmm.
everybody needs to be happy that he's
Yep.
just not in MMA right now, man. But like you said, I'm gonna go with Joshua. It's the experience, it's the speed, right? This dude, you know, compared to Tyson, he's faster, right? But we'll see though, because you know, unlike Tyson, he could get knocked down or knocked out easier. So we'll see. And the perfect person to knock him out is freaking Francis Ngannou, the Predator.
I
So
I got a question.
yeah,
If Ngannou wins his fight, rematch with Tyson Fury for the belt,
I'd love to see that.
or do you put him
You,
against somebody else?
funny you say that too. Tyson Fury was at that last press conference, and him and Ngannou were just going back and forth. Man, I'd love to see that fight. I feel like a lot of people would love to see that fight again. right?
Most definitely.
But I think if Francis and Ngannou were to win this fight, I think they would try to make the Wilder fight. Uh, I'm not gonna lie.
Tough.
If he wins this fight, I'd prefer to see him fight Wilder, and the only reason is because I want to see freaking Fury fight Usyk. I think that's the only reason, right?
That was supposed to happen in February.
It was, but then Fury got that nasty cut. But
Yeah.
if they could pan it out to where freaking Fury and Usyk fight, that's done with, and then Francis has an opportunity to fight Fury again, I'd take that over the Wilder fight. But I think with the timing and stuff like that, it might just be freaking. It probably will be Wilder and Ngannou if he were to win. If he doesn't win, let's give me Joshua and freaking Wilder. I want to see that too.
I want to see that too. Well, ladies and gentlemen, give us your thoughts and predictions. Give us your thoughts and predictions about that topic. Anthony Joshua, Francis Ngannou going out on this Saturday. Make sure y'all tap in and tune in. Y'all think Francis Ngannou could pull off the huge upset, or is Anthony Joshua going to continue to be as dominant as he was prior? If Ngannou wins, who do you put against Ngannou? If Joshua wins, who do you put against Joshua? Leave that all in the conversation below. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions about that topic.
And if Ngannou wins, where do you guys put him in the rankings for heavyweights?
That's a good question as well. Thank you for assisting me in that. Great question. Leave that in the comment section below as well.
That's such a good one, man.
Facts. All right, now we're going to transition over to the NFL. A bunch of crazy stuff has been happening involving the franchise tag and these cuts.
Yep.
First, let's start off with the players who have been franchise tagged. Me and Josh will have a discussion pretty much about the franchise tag. We're going to give our thoughts and opinions about the players who was tagged by their respective teams.
Yeah.
All right, so my first one that was really honestly mind-boggling was Brian Burns with the Carolina Panthers.
True.
He had 8 sacks last year, and there was no talks of returning Brian Burns whatsoever. The fact that the Panthers was like, know what, psych, you're not going anywhere. You staying here, tag, and he can't really do nothing about it. And they gotta pay this man. I feel like he's gonna earn this man's about to earn $24 million this upcoming year just off being franchise tag.
Jeez.
And in the previous episode, I was saying like this man gotta go. Like he has to get out of Carolina, but hey, they low-key hold him, I'm not gonna lie.
They really did, man. This dude, I'm just super surprised by this, man. I thought this dude would have been out the door there, man. Like, freaking, he had a good season, right? And he's been a beast for them for a couple seasons now. But sometimes I just think, like, man, what are the Panthers freaking doing out there, man? Like, what is the ownership doing, the coaching doing, the president? It's just, I don't see this like. First off, we all hate the franchise tag, but like, I don't see this as like a horrible thing because Brian Burns is a great player, but like, what do they think they're gonna get him for a long-term freaking contract after this? And it's a non-exclusive tag
exactly,
too.
yeah. If I'm him, I'm trying to get up out of here. Not gonna lie.
I'm gonna talk about a player from my team, freaking Mr. Justin Matabuke. I gotta be saying that right.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro is coming off a monster year, right? He's coming off a monster year, and obviously I am glad to have this guy, right? And it always like really upsets me when I see, how about this? One of my team players, franchise tag, when I know they should get a good contract extension, right? So this one's a tough one for me, right? Obviously, he got franchise tag, so he's gonna be back next year. But if this
what
dude
is that?
goes,
Go ahead. My bad for interrupting.
if
Go
this
ahead.
dude goes off again this year, man, I don't care what he asked for. Obviously, not no Lamar Jackson contract, right? Even when they franchise tag Lamar Jackson, I was ready to slap the whole friggin' staff. But if this dude has a stellar season, man, sign him, bro. He's young. He's a freaking monster. Like, get him in there, man. This dude could be like, I'm not gonna put him up there, but he could be our next Aaron Donald. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna gas him up like that, but freaking.
But the tag say about all-pro linebacker Patrick Queen. What's gonna happen with him? Is he walking? Because you gonna let an all-pro walk after he's real young.
That is true. I almost did forget about that, man.
What about Pat Queen, man?
I don't. And the craziest part too, I don't want to break up that linebacker duo,
Exactly.
right?
Roquan and Patrick was all pros last year.
I don't want to break that linebacker duo, but I'm gonna be honest though, right? I don't want to break up that linebacker duo, but obviously for my team, the years that we've been crazy successful, what I've always noticed is that we have a freaking someone that's a star in the freaking D line, a star linebacker, and a freaking star safety. We've always had that. We've literally always had that. Suggs, freaking
Right?
Lewis,
Lewis, Haloti Nada,
freaking and freaking Reed, right? I
Haloti,
almost
Haloti
forgot.
Nada,
Hello,
Haloti Nada.
Inada. Like we've always had that. And in the last couple years, a freaking stellar player on the D line is low key something I wouldn't say we've been lacking, but we just haven't had one of those players where you're like, yo, top defensive lineman is on the Ravens, the Baltimore Ravens. So this is a tough one, right? Because people think like, oh, we get rid of Patrick Queen, right? We could always get like a replacement linebacker. Man, shut up with all that, man. That's an all-pro linebacker for a reason, right? I do
Facts.
like I think we have the best dual linebacker in the league, and that's a lot to say when you take a look at the Niners, man. The Niners, man.
I'm gonna
But it's a
say San Fran.
yeah, San Fran, man. That duo is ridiculous, man. But it's a lot to say that I still do think we have that duo. We have so I wanna find some way to keep Patrick Queen. Like I wouldn't say it's unrealistic, but man, we'll see. That's a
We'll
tough one.
see. Let's talk about your AFC North rivals. Cincinnati Bengals, they tagged T. Higgins. Not really surprised by that move, honestly. They kind
Yeah,
of had to. I mean,
yeah.
you just paid Joe Burrow big money. You got Jamar Chase. You probably gonna pick up his 5th-year option. They said they letting Joe Mixon walk. They letting Tyler Boyd walk. I'm not really surprised by either one of those two. They wasn't
No,
really
I'm
supposed to be
not.
back. So I'm not, that one really doesn't surprise me really either.
Not at all, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. I seen that one coming, right? Out of if I were to talk about like all the freaking dudes that did get tagged, that's probably one of them I seen coming for sure. So I don't know. I obviously if I were the freaking Bengals, I want to keep T. Higgins, man. That's like a to me, T. Higgins like a freaking
He's a very underrated number
baby.
two. Very underrated number
He's a
two.
monster, baby Megatron. Freaking, I think honestly, he's built his stature and his build is more obviously to me Randy Moss, but like
Is
he really is a good player, and I think him as like the number two is stellar because like him at the number two, man, like say if Chase is being doubled or he's just having a bad day, you always know you got Higgins out there,
that's
man.
facts.
We got freaking Antonio Winfield to go over to one of your rivals on the team that busted the Eagles down in the playoffs. Sorry to say,
The
man, but
Buccaneers
yeah.
are not an Eagles rival. Please stop.
They're
They did
not,
wax
but
in the playoffs. They did, but yeah, Antoine Winfield, not really surprised by that tag. I mean, I was hoping he tested the free agent market. I was hoping they couldn't come to a deal. Not because
yeah.
I'm hating on him I don't want him to get his coins.
Hmm.
I just feel like I'm not gonna say they're holding him back, but he definitely deserves a contract. I mean, he's gonna be making 17.1 million this upcoming year. But again, he was an R-Pro safety. You can't just let that walk. So the
Yeah.
Bucks, they did the right thing right there. I'm not really
All
surprised
pro
that they
safety
tagged him.
that didn't get selected for the fucking Pro Bowl, but
Yeah,
hey,
that blew my mind.
hey, NFL, whatever. Yeah, I was not surprised by that one either. Freaking, it's like you said, man. He's who can say if they're really holding him back? Because one thing that's always been like for sure is that past couple years is that the Bucks usually have a good defense. So that's a
Yeah.
tough one. It's more of just like, is the offense reliable enough? And don't get me wrong, like, Baker had a good year, right? He had a pretty good year. I like the way Baker played this
He did.
year.
No, he
But
definitely
we've
did.
seen the years where Baker has a good year and then the next year you just like,
Just plateaus. Like he goes
plateaus and
downhill
it's
and just
like
crashes.
exactly. And that's the one thing about Baker. It's just he's uncertain. So it's just he's an uncertainty. So like, hey,
Facts.
they could be holding him back. So I think depending on how the Bucks play there, honestly, I think depending on how the Bucks Baker plays this year could be a factor in whether this dude even wants to re-sign with the Bucks, right? And obviously, depending on how he plays, is whether or not he can make himself real profitable when it comes to being out on the market. So let's see. But
What about Josh Allen for the Jacksonville Jaguars?
This one I kind of seen coming too. I kind of seen this one coming too. I'm not gonna lie, right? Josh Allen, freaking Josh Allen number 2, right? Nah, Josh Allen. I remember when he first came in the league, right? This dude has developed, right? Every year he's developed and gotten better. He really has. So
He's definitely top 5 edge
he
rusher.
is he really is, right? Like, and he's literally freaking a top 5 linebacker that isn't even talked about enough, right? Nowhere near enough is this dude talked about. Obviously, it's like probably has to do with the fact that his name is freaking the
Josh
exact
Allen,
same
the
name
second
as
Josh Allen.
yeah. But this dude, he every year, one thing I like about him is literally every year this dude has developed, gotten better, and now he's a big name linebacker now. So I didn't see this wasn't surprising to me. I saw this one coming because I feel like the Jaguars actually do want to keep this dude, right?
I agree.
This dude honestly is like he's like their next Miles Jack, right? And if he can continue developing and staying
I
good,
think
he
better
could,
than Miles Jack.
yeah, honestly. But you know how popular and important Miles Jack was to that defense back in the day.
That's true.
But now he's better, and if he could continue developing and just continue to just like be the player he like we think he is, like this dude is in for a big contract, you know.
Those def.
So okay, Jalen Johnson, the Bears, man. The Bears piss me off sometimes. But the Bears, right? Jalen Johnson, he got franchise tag, but then they eventually came up to an agreement to where they signed him for a contract. And what they signed him for? They freaking signed him for a what was it, a 4 year, 76 million? What's the math on that?
Yeah,
Almost
I
what?
believe it was that. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
that.
4 years, 76 million. That's almost 20 mil a year.
Yeah,
Like, and that's a good contract, man, right?
that's solid.
So
And I'm happy they got a deal done with him because honestly, last 2 years, I'll say the year before this past year, he was just coming on. He was facing a lot of
mhm.
number one. He's facing a lot of really good number ones that year in
Yeah,
2022. In 2023, he took a huge step up. And I was like, wow, Jalen Johnson is a dog. Like, he's
he
definitely.
is.
And once I realized that he was going to hit the free agent market, I was like, okay, a lot of teams are going to target him. So it's definitely smart by Chicago to use their franchise tag on him because Chicago definitely got some stuff cooking up over there.
Mhm.
Who knows what's going to happen with Justin Fields? I think Justin Fields is out the door, but they're going to make room.
Yeah,
They're going to draft more players on offense. They need to boost up additional players to help Jalen Johnson on that defense as well, especially
yeah.
in the secondary. But good move by Chicago. What you think about that?
I seen it. I seen it, and I do think it's a good move. But they eventually came up to a contract. So some people out there might seem like, bro, that was pointless, right? Because you agreed to a contract literally the day after. But yeah, good move by them because right, you got to make sure that he stayed with the team and then eventually work something out in the back end. Sometimes it happens, and this was one of those cases. So good move by Chicago. If they really could get more players of his caliber, the Bears are going to be a
Facts.
threat in the coming years. We'll see though what happens with the whole field stuff though. That's another conversation.
It is. All right, let's talk about the players that weren't tagged. We have 3 big ones. First, let's talk about the New York Football Giants. They didn't tag 2 of their best players on either side of the football: Saquon Barkley and Xavier McKinney.
Freaking Barkley, I seen that one coming though. Like I didn't think the Giants were gonna use their franchise tag on him. I I don't even know what it is. I think I really think obviously like in terms of production, Barkley's a good back, right? We know that, right? Like just with the amount of games he played, but obviously his health has always been a factor. Like
Always.
this dude has been with them for years, right? And right, he's had enough time to prove that he can stay healthy. Not even that he's a good back at this point, because we know he's a dog. I think it's proof that
Is
he could stay healthy, but like
those
every
injuries are
year
definitely
he
concerned though.
exactly every year he comes up with something like motherfucking
Always.
J.K. Dobbins, right?
Facts.
Fucking sorry, I'm
Not as
sorry,
bad,
my
not as
boy.
bad as JK, but
Nah, not as bad
yeah.
as J.K. Sorry, my boy J.K. I ain't mean to, but still though, right? Man. But
I'm
I wasn't surprised by this one. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah. They used him on Barkley at the end of 2022 season. They franchise tagged him
Yeah,
last year, and then they paid Daniel Jones that crazy amount of money. By the way, the Giants they claim that they're done with Daniel Jones. Bye, good riddance. He's trash anyway.
did they?
But Yeah, the organization pretty much said they're done with Daniel Jones. They want to move on in a different direction. Good.
Oh,
He's
God, bro.
trash. Anyway, but
Serious.
going back to Saquon Barkley, I'm not really surprised about this move either. The NFL doesn't really value running backs, even though Saquon was the best player on offense without a doubt for that New York Football Giants team. But I think it's good that both sides want to go in a different direction because I feel like Saquon's tired of his career in organizations. I don't want to say devaluing him, but
Mm-hmm.
he wants to win. He's at the point in his career he wants to win. He's been in the league since 2018. This is going on to year 7. So he's like, listen, I'm almost 30 years old. I got to get me a ring. And he's looking at a lot of good teams who are contenders right now. So I don't blame him, but I'm not really surprised that the Giants didn't tag him.
Where do you think he goes?
Well, apparently Houston and the Philadelphia Eagles and the Bengals are the top 3 teams looking at him. As an Eagles fan, do I want Saquon Barkley? Not 100%. He is a game changer. He is an upgrade over what we have, but I'm not paying a running back no more than like $10 million a year. But he knows he's not going to get that much money. But I think he goes to Houston. I think it's him and C.J. Stroud, Nico Collins, Tank Dell when he comes back from injury, and they re-sign Dalton Schultz, and that offensive line is pretty good. It's pretty good. So I would definitely love to see Saquon in Houston.
Yeah, I actually think that's a good place for him in Houston.
It is.
But yeah, we will see. What do you think about McKinney though?
Now, Xavier McKinney grew on me every year he's been in the league. I mean, coming out of
Yeah.
Alabama, he was a really good safety. He got drafted first round. He was a really solid safety. It took him a little bit to grow, but this last year he turned it up. I mean, he was a top 10 safety via Pro Football Focus.
Mm.
He got better at coverage. He got better at covering tight ends. He got better coming down in the box and tackling. McKinney's a really solid safety. I think whoever picks him up, they're going to be great. He's going to be great. He's going to be a great fit for their team without a doubt. And I'm really surprised the Giants didn't franchise tag him. Maybe they got something cooking up. Maybe they're trying to sign a big time free agent. Who knows? But I feel like they should have tagged him. I mean, you don't have to tag anybody else. I mean, Dexter Lawrence is already under contract for years.
Exactly.
Who else do you have to pay?
And who do they think about picking up? I haven't really seen
any
I haven't
reports.
seen anything in the talks with anyone going to the
Honestly.
Giants or thinking about it. But
Honestly, but hey, it's whatever.
I was surprised I didn't see McKinney tagged. I knew Barkley wasn't gonna get tagged, so I was like, okay, McKinney, right? Like,
Yeah.
he like you said, player like development, man. This dude has developed every year, gotten better. But yeah, man, like Giants is also one of those franchises. I'm like, man, what are these dudes doing? I thought like years ago, man. I know I've said this to you multiple times, man.
But Daniel
They
Jones sucks.
gotta get rid of Daniel Jones. Man.
I hated
that dude
Daniel
is
Jones.
hot trash, man.
He's
Like,
booty.
I'm not even hating at this point, but like they had one good season. Daniel Jones wasn't even that much of a baller that season, right?
Nope.
Even if he played decent, right?
He got paid to run.
Not good enough to freaking pay $140 million. Fuck out of here. Come on, man. But
all right. Let's talk about Christian Wilkins, though. He's the last person we're going to talk about for this topic. He was not tagged by the Miami Dolphins. This is a big surprising move in my opinion.
This one, ooh.
I feel like Miami, I mean, they already let Jerome Baker go. They let Xavier Howard go as well. What is going on in Miami?
I can't tell you, man.
You from there. That's your city, bro. Tell me what's going on out there.
I am from Miami, but not a Dolphins fan. Obviously, I've been to games, followed the Dolphins for years. Freaking, I grew up there. So, in terms of like the Dolphins succeeding and being a good team, like it's hard to say because they in the AFC as well. But why not? Like that's the hometown. But I don't know what's going on there, man. Like I like McDonald, but like I personally always think that defensive coaches are just better, right? I think defensive coaches are just better. And, McDonald's you could tell he's just an offensive coach. Like what's most important is offense. And don't get me wrong, right? The Dolphins
Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, McDaniel, excuse me. The Dolphins had a freaking good defense, right? A pretty good defense. And then all the injuries derailed them. But right, even still, their defensive schemes, weren't great. They just didn't play good. Freaking, you could just tell, like, Jalen Ramsey didn't look like the freaking player that he's always been. Freaking Xavier Howard, as soon as like McDaniel show up, like he wasn't that freaking all-pro cornerback. Like you could just tell, like something's up with that defensive scheme they got going on. And
Do you think
Right.
it was Vic? Do you think it was Vic Fangio? I mean, Vic Fangio. I heard the scheme is pretty complicated. I mean, he's in Philadelphia right now. He's doing coordinator for the Eagles.
Yeah. And look what the Eagles did last year defensively.
Without him, I don't even talk about my birds right now, man.
God,
That's
I'm not. But Christian Wilkinson, right? Christian Wilkinson. I was surprised by that, right? Like Christian Wilkinson, he just is coming off a good year. So it's just like, what else? Like, what
Yeah,
else? Like,
he's bro. You ever see his mic'd up? He's just one of the best mic'd up players to watch. He's so funny. He be talking trash while we getting. He be, I'm getting hell. Like he remember his jersey was ripped in that
oh
one highlight. Like,
yeah,
bro, he's just so funny to watch. And that's what I'm saying. Like he was a great player. He was a all in my opinion. He played at an all pro level.
he
He's one of the
did.
most best interior D linemen in the league we have. But
Mm-hmm.
the fact that the Dolphins didn't tag him, I mean, what do they have brewing up? To his new contract coming in? Gotta be.
Think
Are they
so?
thinking about Jalen Waddle?
True, true.
Yeah, you think I think about A Chain in the future as well. That's I feel like that's what it's coming down to. Got Javon Holland coming up, hopefully in a year or two. He played at a pretty good level last year as a safety, but honestly, this was really surprising about the Miami
Yeah,
Dolphins to
this was
not
this was really
tag Christian
surprising.
Wilkins.
Yeah, we're not even gonna talk about like that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't even want to get into their offense, man. Like, I don't want to
Yeah,
talk about what they have going on offense. Freaking Tua being, I'm not even gonna say an incomplete quarterback, whatever, man. But I want to focus on their defense, and I think that's something that they just don't focus on enough, man. Like,
conversation
it's
for a different
like
day.
exactly like they just to close this out, but the Dolphins and that defense, man, like obviously you can tell they've gotten some well-known players over the years, right? Some more veteran players over the years to create that defense, right? But what they're lacking is a new fresh face to come in and go crazy, right? And that's what they need. I'm not gonna say that's what they need, but it's you remember Aaron Rodgers back in the day would complain to the freaking Packers about, hey, we like, what's up? Why we not drafting good players for defense and all this other stuff? Like,
Yeah, and
exactly,
receivers.
like, exactly. It's just to the point where it's like, man, your offense is stacked, man. Like, freaking, you could put up points on the board. Don't let the freaking Baltimore Ravens put up 56 on your defense, my guy. But hey,
Facts. Let's move on to the NFL most recent cuts. I mean, it's been a lot going on, honestly.
yeah,
A lot of big ones. Let's just talk
yeah,
about that too while we at it. We're gonna stick with the NFL.
yeah, clearing up cap, man.
All right. The biggest one, obviously, the Denver Broncos cut Russell Wilson, but they still have to pay this man big money. What you think about that?
Well, yeah, it's obviously the big one, but obviously it's probably the one you've seen like coming like the most and stuff. Pause. It's just freaking that relation. It's well, we could go into Russ's play, right? The first season wasn't great, right? We could talk about all the pieces they didn't put around Russ, right? We could talk about the freaking horrible coaching staff, if it was or not. We could talk about Russ just not being ready, not being there in terms of playing, whatever, right? That first season pass, you went and freaking got a new coach, right? That you're paying freaking what, 17 or 18 million a year, some crazy thing, crazy number, right? And Sean Payton. And I've always liked Payton throughout the years and the Saints, Drew Brees, probably like my favorite quarterback all the time. So I've, paired up with Payton. I've always liked Payton, but that relationship there, it's wounded to the point where it's no return, right?
It
There's a
was so
lack of
bad.
trust, right?
Sean
There's a
Payton
lack
did
of
not like
trust.
Russ.
He didn't.
Sean
He
Payton was
clearly
calling
didn't.
him out. He was saying, I'm gonna tell Russ what to do. This, that, like, bro, he had no trust in Russell Wilson whatsoever. And I'm not gonna lie. Year one, Russell Wilson with Denver, Nathaniel Hackett was a disaster. Year two, Russell Wilson, we like, hey, maybe Sean Payton can get Russell Wilson back on track. But I'm
Hmm.
not gonna lie, I'm one of the biggest Russell Wilson fans, but he hasn't been elite in years. But I
Yeah.
love it. I still root for him because I want to see him be great. But it's been
Hmm.
really hard to root for this man the last handful of years. But I definitely seen this coming. Again, how the situation happened. Not satisfied with what happened at all. The Broncos tried to take this man's injury guarantee money. They tried to blackball him and bench him as he went on a 5-game win streak with the Denver Broncos. He played a huge part
Exactly.
in that. So no,
And
the
he
Broncos are messed
beating
up.
playoff teams, man.
Exactly. He beat playoff teams. He beat the Chiefs. He beat the Bills. He beat the Packers. Like, come on. Like, what more did you want from him? But
Yeah,
whatever. Hey, he's out of there now.
he is, man. And not even gonna in terms of where he signs, that's
Who
one thing,
knows?
but just that whole situation, man.
It's
Like
horrible.
it was, you seen him talking about it on freaking Brandon Marshall's
I
podcast,
am athlete.
and
Shout
exactly,
out to B Marsh.
and like you could just tell, man, like you could just tell that there was nothing that he added into the story. It was just a fresh story. I feel like Russ is just the type of player that's not afraid to call himself out if he has to,
He
right?
has.
So, in that situation, I think the Broncos, that was just like atrocious. Honestly, like good on the NFLPA for just stepping in, defending Russ in that situation. I think the Broncos should be fined,
They should
right?
be.
I'm not gonna say how much. I don't know how much, you're right, in the La
They
Liga
should be
to
fine.
the legal dudes, but I think they should be fined. Um, I'm not gonna put too much more into it. I would say fined. I would say some restrictions. I would say, probably take away some picks and stuff like that. You don't want to do that to. I don't want to see it done to the franchise because I want to see the franchise get better and compete and stuff like that. Right? The Broncos have always usually been a good franchise, but what the Broncos just try to do is take advantage of a player, literally take advantage of a player, right? And in a super unprofessional way,
Yep.
in a basically practically illegal way. And it's just like, man, like I feel like
Yeah,
right
it's
now,
crazy.
the NFL, the NFL in that situation should have made the Denver Broncos an example, just like how they practically did with freaking Snyder and John Gruden. Make the fucking Broncos
Facts.
an example, hold them accountable for that BS, because that's what it was.
I agree. Let's move on with the Buffalo Bills. They made a surprising number of cuts
Yo.
as they cut Jordan Poyer, who's a
Mhm.
former first team All Pro. They cut Cyril Neal, a safety as well. They also cut former first team All Pro and Pro Bowler Tre'Davious White and cut
Yeah.
Deontay Hardy.
Yeah. Freaking it was so funny seeing it was funny seeing they cut White before they cut freaking Hamlin, but
Yeah, the fact they kept DeMar Hamlin, man, it's just money involved at that point. It's just money
yeah, it,
involved.
it really is, right? So,
It gotta be.
freaking Poyer, cutting him, they freaking save about 5.5 million in cap. Obviously, they got to pay him like 2.2 or something like that, but they're making big moves on freaking defense, right? They save a lot of money. The Tre'Davious White, man, they I think it's like up to like 14 million in terms of that salary cap that they'll be
He just couldn't
saving.
stay healthy. He just couldn't stay
Yeah,
healthy. Trey White just could not stay healthy. He was a
he
top
can't.
10
He couldn't.
corner, but he couldn't stay
He,
healthy.
he really was, right? So I will say this though, that secondary was I wouldn't say they were a bit older, but Tre'Davious White and freaking Poyer. Poyer was definitely maybe like a bit older and stuff. It's just like maybe they're looking for fresh new faces. They're trying to change up that defense,
They're definitely
right?
rebuilding.
They're
They're definitely
definitely trying
rebuilding.
to like change up the defense. Maybe the freaking Dolphins should take a page out of their book, but freaking
Yeah.
I don't know. I wonder how this freaking Bills defense is gonna look. I can't even tell in terms of the Bills' issues, was the defense really the problem last year? I
Not
don't
really.
think so.
I don't think so. I
I
think it was the
don't think
offense
so,
in
but
some ways,
yeah,
especially
yeah,
the
it was
turnovers on
definitely the
offense,
offense. It was definitely
my
the offense,
opinion.
but freaking, we'll see what they're trying to do, man.
Yeah,
We'll
no, I
see what.
agree with you. Are you I couldn't say it any better. So I'm just gonna move on to the next team, honestly. The
Yeah,
Seattle Seahawks. Quandre Diggs and Jamal Adams both got cut the same day.
yeah,
Both safeties are gone.
yeah. What you
But
think about that, man? That's something, man. New coach in there. Freaking my boy, freaking Mike. What you think about that?
I'm not gonna lie, Jamal Adams, he can't cover a pot. He's a
Yeah.
good box safety, but he can't cover a pot. He can't cover a pot. He can't cover a check.
Hey,
He can't put a coat on to brace himself against a cold.
I
He has
remember you've
not
been
been.
saying this since he was on the Jets. You've been saying this for a minute. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm telling the bro. I don't lie. You can see it when he's at LSU. You can see his
Yeah,
tape. He was a top 10
yeah.
draft pick and hasn't panned out to the great safety he's supposed to be. He's a great tackling safety. That's it. He can't cover. He can't cover tight ends. He can't cover running backs. He cannot cover no one in the slot. And these days in the NFL, they are bringing the safety down into the nickel. They do it.
Mm-hmm.
Derwin James, Minka Fitzpatrick, Kyle Duggar on the Patriots. Like they do it. But I'm not really surprised about Jamal Adams. Quandre
Yeah, I
Diggs,
wasn't
though.
surprised at that.
Yeah, Quandre Diggs, though, I was kind of surprised at. I mean, he
Mm-hmm.
didn't have too great of a year last year. I thought they were going to bring him back at least on a 1 or 2 year deal.
Yeah,
But that was kind of surprising. I'm really surprised by Seattle for that.
yeah. The Adams one, yeah, that wasn't surprising. I feel like I saw that coming too. the Diggs one, just like you, freaking, I did think he was going to be a Seattle Seahawk for like probably like the next 2 years, right? I thought he was gonna be like the how you say it, basically the next safety to take over in terms of for the organization, right? Not in
Yeah.
the next safety to take over, just like the lead guy when it came to safeties, right? It's been Adams for a couple years now, but obviously Adams hasn't even really been healthy since he's been on the Seahawks. But freaking the Diggs ones was surprising. We'll see what they do there, how they fill up those positions. But hey,
Now, what about Tampa Bay Buccaneers cutting Shaq Barrett, their former pass rusher, who was at a Pro Bowl level at least about 2 years ago, I'll say.
Shaq Barrett, freaking this dude was a beast, right? Freaking couple years ago, this dude was a monster. This dude, freaking one of the I wouldn't say the best linebacker in the league, but he was definitely probably top five, right? He was
At
up
one,
there.
you could
Yeah.
argue he was the year he was having like a couple years ago. I was like, oh man.
Yeah,
Everybody was like,
he
oh
really
man.
was though. He really was. He was still young. I wouldn't say he's like past his prime or anything like that, but he, definitely just he's definitely like underperformed in like
No, most
the last
definitely.
couple years, right? Like compared to like what you thought he was supposed to be. Like he was looking like a franchise player, right? Couple years ago, but he's more like metaled down. It's just I'm not even gonna lie, I don't even know his numbers really for last year, right? But like you could just tell by his play. Like I watched him play, right? But he he definitely didn't perform like what we thought.
Yeah.
He wasn't looking like what we thought he was gonna be. So
Yeah, I can agree with that. He could have been a bit better last year. Again, if we talk 2, 3 years ago, that man was a beast.
monster.
He's definitely an aid in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning that 2020
Yeah,
Super
him and
Bowl.
David.
He was definitely and Devin White. When Devin White has definitely regressed a little bit as well. There's also reports saying that the Buccaneers are going to like let Levante David walk possibly as well as Devin White. So
Yeah.
is Todd Bowles over there hooking up some new? Is he rebuilding that defense as well?
You say that, and I could see that,
I
right?
can see it too.
Defensive coach right there, man. Defensive
Facts.
coaches always understand. Like, they say, oh, defense wins championships and trash like that. Like, it's true, don't get me wrong. But I just feel like defensive coaches, like, they always like work their defense and make a pickup on the offense as much as possible, but then rely on like their offensive coordinator too. But like they have their hand in that freaking defense. So if he was to be changing it up, I could see that. I wouldn't say I wouldn't say it would be like a bad idea, right? Because man, I just think the Buccaneers. The one thing I do think about the Buccaneers is that they were a scrappy team last year.
They were.
They weren't a team that was supposed to be in the freaking second round of the freaking playoffs. They were just a
But it's
scrappy
bro, let's
team.
let's be real. Like they was a scrappy team, but come on, you played in the worst division in the football. Like, come on,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
NFC
yeah, yeah.
South. That's the NFC shit. Let's be real.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
suck. All teams that division
true.
they suck.
That is true, but
But they
freaking
waxed the NFC champions in the first round of the playoffs. But then they
they
took
did.
Detroit. They took Detroit to it until Baker Mayfield threw that game sealing pick. So
That is true.
and
Freaking that
Baker,
was a
hey, they got
scrappy team right there.
yeah, and they got hey, Baker Mayfield already said, like my boy Khalil said in the previous episode, he's not taking a discount. He wants to get paid too. So maybe they cut Shaq to make room for Baker Mayfield.
Maybe that I could see that. But
All
freaking
right.
if they did, like I mean, I talked about it apparently already, but like how much does Baker Mayfield really think he deserves? Right? Like, I don't know. It was
I think he's mid.
terms of contract with him, but we'll see.
All right, let's talk about one more guy. Let's jump back to the Denver Broncos. Justin Simmons.
Yeah,
This
this
is one of the
was
most ball hawking safeties we've ever seen in the
yeah,
last
this was
handful
a
of
more
years.
recent one. Yeah. Freaking this happened today, right?
I believe
They
so.
freaking released him, cut
Today, no,
him
yeah, earlier today or yesterday.
earlier today. Freaking Simmons has been a monster for them for years, man. Like he's like you said, a freaking ball hog safety, man. You put that thing in front of him, that boy's picking that thing off and possibly taking it to the house, man. The Broncos, I'm not gonna lie, like this is it's hard to say, right? You lose the leadership, you lose the experience, right? You lose a player he's still a great player, right? But I think they free up about $14 million in cap space if by releasing him. So, maybe they freeing up that cap space because they've got to pay Russell Wilson, but
They ain't paying
freaking
Russ. They gotta win. That's what makes you think it, but nah, he gone. But
yeah,
hey, I'm hearing for the Broncos that Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton may be on the way out as well. So is it a
yeah,
complete overhaul, rebuild by Denver over there as
yeah,
well?
they might be. They might be. I ain't gonna lie. Jerry Judy, right?
Trash.
But
Hasn't panned out what he's
Sutton,
supposed to be.
yeah, Cortland Sutton, like,
I think you could bring him back for a year or two.
yeah, I think
He made
he
some
could
really
stay.
impressive grabs last year.
Yeah,
He's
bro's
just not as consistent. He should
yeah,
be more consistent than what he is.
he really should though. Bro is tough, right? Like who you think is better, him or Higgins?
Are we
See,
what kind of question is that? You want me to really answer that? Are you serious
nah,
right
nah,
now?
nah. I
No,
already
what?
know who's better, but
What?
it's like
Come on.
I already know who's better, but like they're to me they're kind of like the same receivers. It's just that one receiver is more consistent, right? I feel like if freaking Sutton could be more consistent, he could be a absolute dog, and that could be a player that would be kept for a lot of years, and you wouldn't hear him in talks of freaking getting rid of him because if the freaking Broncos had Justin Jefferson well during this rebuild, you think they'd let him go? Never, right? So
Not a chance.
not a chance. So it's just if he becomes a more consistent player and goes off like the way we know he can and we've seen him, he wouldn't be in these talks and he would be, one of the star franchise players for them. But yeah, the
But he
Broncos
did.
they're probably on a rebuild, right? Like they're probably on a rebuild, and during this rebuild, it's gonna take a lot for them to win back the trust of just players in general, man.
That's a fact. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for those two topics for the NFL for tonight. Give us y'all thoughts and opinions about free agency. It's crazy so far. We've seen a numerous amount of cuts and franchise tags. Give us y'all both surprising or shocking, as well as not surprised franchise tags so far. Also, give us y'all most shocking cuts that you guys have seen so far through this free agency period. And we are just getting started. The combine ended recently, and free agency just started. So a lot of teams are in complete rebuild mode. So we want to hear all that. Give us your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it for episode 50 for Before the Horn podcast. Thank you guys for whatever platform you guys are watching or listening to us on. We appreciate that. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll keep putting more content out there. Y'all just keep making sure y'all share it and support us. We appreciate any support you guys give us. It's much appreciated. We are grateful for that. Also, make sure you guys check out our Patreon. It gives you guys direct access to us, one-on-ones. You can help us pick topics. You can argue with us. Just know if you want to argue with us, you can also hit us in our DMs, but the Patreon, you'll get more quicker responses. You can also help us pick out topics for the episodes that we do as well. Also, give you a chance to be a guest. Also, you can get free merchandise. We got t-shirts and hats coming out soon. We're working on that. But Patreon is definitely the move. For a little $2 a day, you'll help support us. Also, make sure you guys follow us on our socials. Make sure you guys follow us on our Instagram at Before the Horn Podcast. Follow us on our X and TikTok at Before the Horn Podcast. Again, we're going to keep putting out content for you guys. Make sure you guys look out for these episodes. Hey, Josh, as a special guest, I appreciate you coming on here. Thank you. Got anything to say to the fans that's listening?
Yeah, just thanks for having me, and then yeah, freaking follow Before the Horn podcast, man. These dudes, they next up and coming, man. You see it, man. These dudes, they talk about the good stuff. They give you the good statistics. They freaking give you the good fights, good news going on in the NFL, NBA, man. They talk about it all, man. Give these dudes a follow. This is good stuff, man. And I know they got more coming up, so
For sure. We definitely not done yet. We just getting warmed up. Hey, make sure y'all be on the journey with us, though. We want to definitely have y'all included. But hey, Josh, thank you for being a guest. I appreciate you. We'll definitely have you on again in the future. Thank you for coming up on here and giving us your insights and predictions and all that good stuff. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, like, comment, share, subscribe. This is the end of episode 50. We shall see you guys on Tuesday. Have a good night. Peace.
peace.